Please give it up for James Acaster.
Thanks. Right, first things first. This set that I'm about to do has to go badly. If it goes well, then that means this is better and we don't need to Save Live Comedy. So it is very important that I die on my arse tonight, that this gets no laughs it's getting no laughs in this room, it's just me. But like, where you are, this has to go bad. And don't heckle and shit, I can't even hear you. You're wasting your breath. But like, also, to be fair, that's 1+. I'm trying to think of like, look, I want to Save Live Comedy as much as the next person, honest to God. But I've been thinking of like pluses and minuses and trying to weigh this up against how my life used to be. I prefer this. Like, I want to say I don't, but A, can't see you. And that's not a diss. I'm too insecure. The amount of gigs I've thrown away and wasted because I looked in an audience and saw someone who wasn't enjoying it, and then I asked them why, as if the answer was going to be anything positive. And then the whole gig has gone to shit, and I've had to travel home after, which brings me on to point number 2. This is amazing. There's no journey in, no journey out. Which means, it doesn't matter how well it goes. I close that. You're not real. Just close that. And I'm in my living room immediately. So, you can't heckle me, which the amount of stuff I've been heckled with over the year. There's the chat, there's the Zoom chat at the bottom, but I've deliberately put up my iTunes. I can't even see anything. It's just my iTunes library so that I can't see the Zoom chat. Because beforehand, and I was watching Kane and Huge and everyone, I could see the Zoom chat coming up and they're absolute pig shits. And I was like, no way I want to read that for the whole thing. Someone asked on there, because I was reading them, someone who'd seen me in the past do a gig. And bearing in mind, in my head, I'm trying to save live comedy and believe that live comedy is a good thing. And someone on the chat was like, James, I saw you do a gig in Leeds where you're doing a work in progress show. And at the end, you had to stop the show early because you made a woman cry. I'm just wondering if that was a plant or not in the audience. Now, so many responses to that. A, thanks for the reminder. Got to do a gig over Zoom now. And just remembering, I used to make women cry back in the day. Was it a plant? Who? What comedian trying to make people laugh goes, what would be the ultimate closer to my new show? I'll make a woman cry, not explain it, and walk off stage. That'll be good. Then I'll look like a horrible bully. Wasn't a plant. I'll tell you what happened, and this won't make anyone miss live comedy. But I'll tell you the story. I was doing a show. At the end of the show, it ended with a routine where I read out text messages from my ex-therapist, who was very unprofessional with me and started to half-stalk me. And I said I was going to read these texts out, and a lady in the audience went, ugh, like that, before I started reading them. Ugh. So I said, are you all right? And it was a hot room, so I was charitable. I said, is it too hot? Do you want to go out? No. So I just don't want to hear this routine. So, well, no, you don't have to hear it. Literally, I said, it's the last routine, you can leave if you want. Then she burst into tears. I don't know what the context is. So I just ask her if she's all right. She doesn't want to talk about it. Her boyfriend tells me to leave it. I try and carry on the routine like an idiot. I just carry on doing it. Didn't work. Said I had to end it early because the vibe was so bad. Went off. When I came out, again at the end of the night, I thought all the audience had left. They hadn't. The lady who was crying had stayed behind with her husband. And she said, yeah, you upset me because I'm a therapist. And I don't appreciate you slagging us off. I was like, if you're a therapist, then you should care that there's an unprofessional therapist out there who was stalking one of her patients. Is that the legit term? Probably not. You should care about that. It's just like, well, you're giving us a bad name. Not all therapists are bad. You should know that. I said, well, I did know that. I thought it was just that one therapist because she was the only. But now I've met you. Starting to think it's all of you. It's not, by the way. I've got a new one now. It's great. I make them cry every session. Questions like that don't make me miss live comedy, you know? I was trying to think. I had a gig last year where I was doing so badly that the bouncer at the gig tried to kick me out of the gig during the gig. That was how bad it was going. The whole of my set, people were talking, the whole audience was talking, not even listening to me. There was a guy in the front heckling me, telling me I was shit and whatnot, you know, all the classics. And the guy who ran the gig said to the bouncer, he went, he needs to go. And he was pointing at the guy in the front row. Because I was doing so bad, the bouncer thought, oh yeah, I know who he's pointing at. The person who's ruining everyone's vibe tonight. And the thing is, I'm on stage, I'm getting heckled, everyone's talking. And the bouncer starts walking up the aisle behind the heckler. And I'm like, oh, cavalry's arrived, you mouthy little shit. And he came up behind him. I was like, here we go. And then he just walked past him and up onto the stage. And he went up to me and he went, you need to go. And I went because I wasn't enjoying myself anyway. It's a fucking godsend. I wasn't gutted. So thanks very much. Put the mic in, walked off stage. And then the promoter came up to me and went, oh, I'm sorry, there's been a misunderstanding. I was like, I'm fully aware there's been a misunderstanding. I don't think you've had me kicked out because I was not funny. He went, well, you need to go back on and explain it to them. I said, I don't think I'm the one who needs to explain this. This is my responsibility to go and clear this up with people. But I went on anyway, explained to them what happened. And the guy in the front who had been heckling, still had been chucked out, by the way, still there. That's not been corrected. I've been sent back on stage, but the heckler remains. And he heckles me again and goes, I thought they'd sent you to get a proper comedian. And this will sound like, you know, great behaviour on my part, but it's not. It's actually very naughty of me. But I said, you know, they did send me to get a better comedian, and it's you, so everyone welcome into the stage. And the thing is, at the time, they hated me so much that the audience clapped that he was about to come on the stage, and he thought I was so bad that he was fully confident that he could nail it. So he just walked on, just so sure of himself, walked on, took the mic off me, and I sat down in his seat. And then he tried whatever joke he opened with, some misogynistic bullshit or something, said that, got boos, immediately got booed. And then he tried to hand the mic back to me. And I just stayed sitting down. And the whole thing descended into proper bedlam. It was like absolute anarchy. And look, what I've just told you is a true story, but also, I think, and this might be a bit dated now, but a metaphor for Brexit. I gave the power to the people, and the whole thing went to shit. And look, I genuinely want you all to Save Live Comedy. Donate as much as you can. Get it done. Because I do have cherished memories. It's just they're not funny. There's no point telling them here, you know. But like, there's loads of good stuff that's happened, loads of friends that I've made along the way, big experiences. Sure, it's just that this year I already had no gigs in the diary because I was taking a year off. So the impact of all this hasn't really hit me yet. Like, if anything, it's quite nice not to. I thought, I'm going to have FOMO. I'm going to have a year off and I'll be really scared that everyone else is cleaning up, doing the circuit without me and smashing Edinburgh. And this could not have worked out better. Also, bad news, I failed to check what time I started my set, and I'm guessing I've overrun, but I'll just have a little look back in on the screen, actually. Oh yeah, the guy's still in tinfoil. When they did that earlier, they went, let's go to the guy. I wasn't here for the beginning. I didn't know about the tinfoil stuff. So I had no context. Let's go to the guy in tinfoil. And it was on his face. And before anything had happened, I went, I bet he's done a cock. I bet he's done a cock. And I bet, do you know what? I bet he actually just gets congratulated for it by everybody. I knew it was going to happen. Look, get out there, support live stand-up. Well done, those of you for like watching it on the video. Well done the people for, the being in the room stuff. I didn't know it was going to be, there's some shots, some audience shots on here. And I was expecting it to be everyone really far apart, masks and everything. You lot are going to fucking die. You're all like so close to each other with no masks on. Fucking idiots. Doesn't matter how this gig goes. None of you are going to be able to tell anyone. I saw it, man. I was like, holy shit. But look, I bet it still feels weird. Like some of you, it'll be your first night out since all this started. And, some of us are stuck. We're in that weird limbo now where the government just like, at one point went, that's the end of all the updates. See you later. Just guess from now on. Because one of our boys drove to Durham and we can't back this shit up. So bye. So now everyone's improving. It feels weird. And some of us are trying, you guys are doing it tonight and you go, I'll do something normal and make myself feel normal, right? I'm going to make myself feel normal. And then you go to it and it's not normal. And you go, I feel weirder now, actually. I thought I was going out to feel normal again. And actually, it felt really weird. And then you get home and go, we're not going out again now. It was fine that we tried it once, but I got forced to tell everyone that I like threesomes. Have a nice night, everybody. I'll see you another time. Goodbye.
James Acaster, everyone.